Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Alt Kings podcast. I'm your host, Tate, with my co-host, Corbin, and today we have one of a kind, Alt Mom herself. How are you doing today?
What's up, guys? What's up? I'm doing fabulous, living literally my best life, I think, right now. And I know that's so cliche to say, but I feel like I'm literally living like the best life that you can live. Yeah.
I remember Alt Mom when we met at the Bitcoin Mansion, and it was just a bunch of more or less like Solana and ETH maxis, and you saw me with the XRP hat on, and you just literally instantly came up to me, and then the rest is history.
Yeah. I have a thing for people that wear XRP merch to NFT events and to like conference. Like, if you're gonna rep it, like I'm gonna be like, hey, how's it going? My first event was Bitcoin Miami, and I went full XRP army, and like everybody was like, are you insane? Nobody talks about XRP around here. And I'm like, XRP, bitch. No,
yes.
That's awesome. Yeah. So
Rudon.
Oh, sorry.
How did we meet?
What?
How did we meet? I
think they're Twitter Spaces, I want to say. Right? It's been a minute.
I feel like I've known you for like, I don't know. Like you don't really remember. Like everybody just turns into instant family out here. Like as soon as you meet, it's like, oh, I've just known you my whole life. You know what I mean?
Literally,
like this, we live these lives that are so intertwined that it's almost like I know you here, and that relationship just continues to build. And as it builds, like over the years, it's amazing. I love it.
It blossoms.
Yeah.
Blossoms.
It really does.
To this point.
Yes.
To you now being on the Alt Kings podcast.
So,
yes.
Alt Mom.
One time I asked Rudon, I said, okay, so if I was going to do a podcast and you guys are the Alt Kings, should I call it the Alt Queens? And then we could have a face off or something, but
that would be cool.
That would be cool.
Maybe someday. Yeah.
Or we could have like a separate maybe one called the Alt Queens that does like Ethereum and Sol.
Okay.
Oh no.
Are you for real are you trying to put me in a box? Like,
no.
Do you know I don't fit very well in a box?
I know you don't fit in a box, but we already have HFAR and XRP down. Keeping it real. So, you know.
And XDC.
Ooh, did you just say XDC?
Yes.
So that's interesting that you said that, because I sold all of my XDC a while ago, and I was like, never looking back, right?
Bad mistake.
Tell me why.
I mean, there's many reasons why, but
yeah,
it's more or less, just think of XRP as the dad, the grandfather, then you have XDC as the father, and XLM as the son, more or less. That's what I look at it like.
I think it's more so down to the functionality of the chain itself and the base infrastructure that can be built upon using the existing code that's already in the chain. I've heard Quincy Jones talk quite extensively about XDC, and it is
Quincy's a beast.
Quincy is a beast.
We're soon to have him on.
Yes,
Quincy's a beast.
We are soon to get him on as well. Yeah.
I messaged Quincy one time, like a long time ago. I was doing some like rabbit hole searching, and I found a document, I think on Quant. And I found this document, was so excited. Like, I was one of the very first people researching Quant. I want to say I got into Quant so a lot of people you'll hear got into Quant at $28, right? And that's when it really started buzzing, right? So I got into Quant at $44 before it dropped to $28 a week and a half before that. And that's when I started. Then I went heavy at 28, and Quant was very cool. I got misled a few times. I had some friends over there that they would send me like pictures of like Quant like on light posts and things, and I would think that it was real. And then like some of my friends would be like, dude, that's photoshopped. And I'm like, no, it's not, dude, they're doing it. Like, I was fighting it. I was young in the market, and it was just really funny to me. But so I was always looking for these secret documents. And I remember messaging him, and he would be like, oh, found that a week ago. And I'd be like, so I'd like find something else. I'd be like, yo. And he'd be like, I've already seen it. And I'm like, God.
He's seen everything. Like, now that he actually works with Zenfin, it's like he knows all. And I'm just so excited to talk to him about everything Zenfin, because I feel like there's just so much that the mass still need to really realize. Because the price to be at 3 cents for a token with those just fundamentals behind it and backing it.
Did Tate just disappear?
No. So sometimes the feed will kind of be a little wavy. It's okay.
Okay. Just curious.
Sure.
Go ahead, Tate.
Well, the fundamentals backing it are just kind of like XRPs are for institutions. It's more or less for like business to business.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of XLM. It's kind of like my stable coin, I want to say. So sure. I use it for like rewards. I use it when I'm spending every day. Like I typically only transact in crypto. I'll use one of my crypto cards, and that's
I was about to ask, which ones do you have by chance?
Oh man, so I biggest is HBAR, XRP, XLM, Quant, Algorand, massive for me. Oh my gosh,
all the ISO tokens. But I was more or less asking, like, you said crypto cards, and I was thinking like crypto like debit or credit cards. I didn't know if you had any of those specifically, like Crow. Yeah.
So I just got my a crypto.com card, and I've got my Coinbase card, and then I just put in to get another one. I'm not sure which one it is. I'm trying to be fully unbanked. Like, I feel like people have to be using crypto the way that, like, as a monetary means. A lot of people don't agree with it. A lot of people are like, no, like, just that's your investment, spend your USD. And I'm like, I want to show people that you can live like this. And so it's challenging, because what I started to do was I started to pick whatever crypto that I was willing to sell short to kind of take a loss on it, like not a massive loss, but I started to spend that crypto. And that way I'm kind of offsetting those short-term trade transactions. Gotcha. And on my taxes last year, I think that I kind of got close to being pretty accurate. I mean, granted, we all took a lot of losses last year. If you didn't lose $40,000 in Solana NFTs, you probably were doing it wrong. But rude on trying to put me in a Solana box. Nothing wrong with Solana. Big love. That's how I learned how to watch nodes. Love SolanaBeach.io. Loved the functionality of it. I thought the branding was super sexy. It was one of the first like upscale brands that really was like, oh, I want to play with this. I did see that the nodes and stuff, everything was slowing down again this morning. I didn't follow back up on it, but man, Solana's got some work to do, and I don't like that kill switch. Not a fan. Did you guys by chance?
Did you see? No. All right. Did you see the partnership? I think they might have with Google coming.
Yeah, no, but what does that mean?
Well, I saw that, but then I don't know. Solana is also like building out a phone. I saw. I'm not big into the Solana ecosystem at all. Solana, but I saw that.
There's a few people that are doing a phone. I want to say that one's been out for a little while. Now. I could be wrong, but again, if you guys were around when it was Degenerative Ape Academy, right? When that minted, I think that's what it was called, and I ended up minting one of the first, it was like 800 or 900, and they had to pause the mint because it went bad. And so they were like, we're just going to rewind it and everybody's going to remint. And I was like, what? Because I got a freaking amazing ape.
Yeah.
And I was really excited about it. For 24 hours, people sat in front of their computers, like ready to mint. Like this was a whole drawn out thing. And when they decided they were going to rewind the chain essentially, or pause the chain or whatever they had to do to start this over. And everybody's was just going to be null and void. And so we started a Discord immediately, like in the middle of this, and we called them the Exiled Apes. And we all band together, and we had people that had apes with no image, but we were able to take like the metadata and create the image. There were people, it was like we were creating birth certificates for these like lost apes, or like it was really cool. It was fun to like be a part of that, you know. Then the school, because it was a school is what it was, then they voted on whether they were going to let us come back in, as maybe we had been like expelled or something like that. And they voted against it. And it was just like a whole like back and forth. But, you know, once I realized that you could just, I don't know, just wipe what we were doing, and that they had the power to do that, it was, I don't know, I just didn't feel right about it. I still did spend a lot of time in Solana NFTs after that. Did really well on a few, but
it didn't feel decentralized. That's what it was like, more or less. It didn't feel like you were in control of what you owned.
Yeah. And then the Exiled Apes, they ended up doing really well. They're still going. Like, I ended up selling mine and paying for my trip to Miami one time. Like like they did really well, just like branding it. And those guys over there, they're heavy hitters and they're hardcore. And I think they've made an impression on a lot of people. So yeah.
That's cool.
A lot of Solana projects do. And what was that one that just minted today? I forgot what it's called. Everybody's posting about it. It's like that bear.
That bear? Like,
it's like, it's either a bear. No, it's not OK Bears. I don't think it's a bear, but it was, people were comparing it to like Bored Ape Yachts. Utes. It's Utes. That's what it was.
Oh, the Utes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But nonetheless, I don't like talking about Solana. But
I know. What are we
your
doing?
Biggest bag
like an
is
H-bar
Hedera.
podcast?
Yeah.
I thought we were like
this is a H-bar XRP more or less
we're
podcast.
Off topic, man.
We're H-bar and XRP maxis over here.
Yeah. Okay, so when did you guys get into H-bar? Why do you love it? I know this is your show.
That's Corbin, more or less. He put me on H-bar.
I did. Yeah. So this was around the time that that XRP NFTs were first starting to pop off and people were starting to trade the tokens. And I wasn't necessarily bored with the ecosystem, but I was like, okay, well, XLS is going to take a long time to actually fully get implemented. And there was a ton of delays and all that stuff, which is fine. Like, I would rather have it be functional at release than be a buggy mess that has to be either re-amended or, you know, just isn't that great, especially on a chain as powerful as XRP, right? So I started.
That's exactly everything we waited on.
Exactly.
You visualized it perfectly, Corbin.
Yeah, and then now everybody is.
He's got a crystal ball under there. You guys just can't see it right now.
Yeah, underneath all of this fuzz is a crystal ball that I have hiding. Anyway, yeah, now everybody's getting mad at XPunks for like no good reason. Like, XLS has been live for 5 seconds, and they're like, "Oh, well, there's going to be a slight delay because this isn't working." And da 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 da. People are like, "Yeah, sell everything."
My beer the first time.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious. Anyway, back on the rails here. Yeah, so I started looking into other chains, and on Twitter, it recommended me a post from, because that's how I originally found XPunks, was crypto Twitter, and got into them and found a lot more through that. And then I found, I believe, Bones's helmets on HBAR, and that was my like initial sort of wave into it. And he started telling me more about their Discord and everything. So like I just started branching out more and more and more, and saw that there was this huge ecosystem and that it was really burgeoning. And it was like one small step in front of XRP in terms of development, current development, I should say, just because of time, you know? Yeah. And so I was like, well, you know, I have the chance to make some money over here in HBAR. Might as well do that. And then I can buy more XPunks or XRooms or junk or whatever. Right. And then ultimately I ended up falling in love with the ecosystem. And now I'm sitting with all of these NFTs that I don't want to sell because I like we all do. Much.
Right?
And all these NFTs you don't want to sell.
I feel so guilty when I sell an HBAR NFT. Like I feel like, I'm like, check yourself. Like, you're emotionally attached to the H-Barbarians, man. You're emotionally attached to this ecosystem.
Do you have any hangries?
It's interesting, you know? I saw you guys had Hangry on, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had Hangry on.
Do you have any?
Yeah. He was just, I just did a Twitter space with Hangry and with Dead Pixels. So I'm working on a project right now, which is Orbis 86. And we were going to launch on Ethereum. And I'm such a huge fan of this ecosystem. Like, you guys, I branched out. I went over here into the ETH ecosystem, and I'm like slowly nudging people this way, just slowly like nudging people over back into our ecosystem. Yeah. Because I started in HBAR like well before NFTs. Like the ecosystem was my favorite, right? I've got, I can't even tell you how many paintings of like Hedera ivy. I've got Hedera ivy planted everywhere. Like I've studied the concept, studied like the spiritual side of it, studied all of it. And obviously the governing council, just like there's so many like amazing things.
It goes too deep.
I'm pretty sure that Lehman is an alien, but just like don't share that on YouTube or whatever. But yeah, so super fan. And so we started talking about like launching on multiple chains. I'm like, definitely want to launch on HBAR. Like we got to launch on HBAR, and got lots of friends over here, obviously. And so, Sonia's like, let's look into it. We started looking into it, talking to Patches, talking to Hash Tools, talking to everyone, like, okay. And had an amazing Twitter space the other day. And so we're trying to finalize everything as far as like the date, because we'll be launching on, hopefully this is still just like finalizing these dates, because we want to launch all at the same time. But if everything works out, we'll launch on hopefully HBAR, Cardano, and Ethereum at the same time. And so for me, like that's my end goal. Like I love the entire ecosystem of crypto. I love the chains that are doing the real work and that matter. And I want to show people the functionality, and not just me. Like I'm not just Orbis, but like in general, who I am is a proponent of cross-chain interoperability and of all of the ecosystems kind of working together, because at the end of the day, not just one tech is going to win. Like this is obvious. Like they all do different things. They all have their strengths. And so I see potential everywhere. And if we have this onslaught of people coming in, like almost like a bull run of new people coming in, which will happen when this hits Amazon, and it's already happening. Like Instagram, Amazon, Reddit, Facebook, everybody is going to be all within the same 5 months. Like that's the way they work. They don't span it out a year ahead. So we've already got our first couple things. I would say by the Super Bowl, we'll have Amazon already on board. We'll have the opportunity on all the major social platforms. So that'll be like before the Super Bowl. And if you think about the amount of people that are going to come in, they're going to be absolutely lost if we're all fighting amongst ourselves and saying, oh, HBAR is better, XRP is better, Ethereum is better. And I'm not against anyone like being a maxi on their chain. Like be a maxi on your chain. That's great for your ecosystem. But at the same time, be welcoming of other ecosystems. And if you can't be, then how are you creating a healthy construct for new people coming in? Because you're just going to confuse them. And so we've got to work together. We got to shake hands.
Very true.
You don't have to invest in the other chain if you don't want to, but you need to shake hands with them, see what they're doing, understand it. And, we all need the funds to be dispersed into the Hedera ecosystem, That
goes to all you ETH maxis out there who won't freaking change your head. Just shift the perspective. That's all I'm saying.
But they are, like, some of them are. And all it takes is getting to know people and showing them kind of the community and the opportunity. But a lot of people they don't really care about community yet because they've never found one that loves them and appreciates them. Some of the biggest feedback that I got from some of the more the people that are more into Ethereum after holding that Twitter space the other day, and Glassy did a phenomenal job hosting it. We had a lot of different projects come in. It was great. Sonia did a really great job. And something that was across the board, like the best feedback was, wow. I can't believe, number one, how excited everybody was. I can't believe how many heads of collections just came into this Twitter space together and we're all like, yo, what's up, fam? What's up, fam? Like, you don't see that in other ecosystems. You don't see 15 collections come into a Twitter space and be like, yo, how's the art looking this week? Like, yo, like, how's this working? Or this function needs to happen on Hash Tools, or this needs to happen in Hashpack. Like, you just don't see it as often as you do in the HBAR ecosystem.
Nope,
for
you
sure.
sure don't. It's amazing. That's why I love it. I mean, they're all so welcoming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And shout out to Hangry.
Big shout out.
You gotta be careful.
Onboarding so many people.
Yeah, it's wild.
I love Hangry.
Yeah.
I love him.
He's amazing.
Yeah. Good people.
Mom, I have a question. So, I mean, you're planning to mint on 3 different ecosystems. Why did you leave out XRP by chance?
So didn't leave XRP out.
Sure.
It's not a matter of like leaving other projects out. It's a matter of being strong and not wanting. And you know, this isn't my project. It feels like my project. Like it is. Like
there's other people besides you
them. I'm part
building
of the DAO.
upon it.
Yeah, I've been a part of what Sonia's been building for several months now. Met her at NFT NYC. So for me, I work with a lot of collections, and this one is the one that I'm like the most excited about because they're willing to branch out and like and really utilize like this entire market, even looking at like Web2 options, looking at different types of innovation, like possibly, you know, just the way that they innovate and think. They're like, I wonder if we can insure these NFTs. I wonder if we can do this. I wonder if we can do that. I wonder if like they're very, just the innovation. Those are the kind of teams that I like to work with. So working with them. I also work with PCK, which is Pop Culture Kids. It's a collection that's getting ready to come out. And it's really funny because it's like these garbage pail style cards. And so I think there's 42 of us that are going to be on them. And I ended up working with PCK because I loved, like, he reached out to me and was like, you want to be a pop culture kid? Because these are like the most influential people right now out here in the streets working with people. And I think that you definitely need to be here. And so the art is hilarious. I'm sitting here with this big ass fur coat from my like Ballers brand. And I've got my like Lazy Ape Yacht Club sitting on my lap, and I've got a big magic staff, and it's got amethyst. It's like, it's awesome. Hilarious. I love it so much. But then there's a lot of the other creators and things that are out here that are going to be on these cards. It's just going to be like fun trading cards for the people that are, out here just moving and shaking. Nice. So that's one that I'm working with. Just got off a phone call with FIO, which is a domain service. And I honestly would recommend anyone looking at FIO. I really think there's some cool things. It's just straight up branding for you with a domain, and it's got the integrations are really cool.
That's on Hedera, right?
No, so it's actually on. I think it's a layer 1, but I think they built with EOS.
Gotcha.
I work all over.
I know you do. You're everywhere. Every space I look up at the top of my Twitter, and it's like you're on either Cardano, ETH,
all over the world,
HBAR, everywhere.
Web 2, Web 3.
Yeah.
Mr. Worldwide.
I'm getting ready to
Miss Worldwide.
Yeah.
Where in the world is Alt Mom? I actually just got back from New Orleans. I'll hit 100 days at conference by the end of this year since January, which was an accident. Like, I didn't plan it. It wasn't like, I want to hit 100 until just recently. I was like, now I kind of want to hit 100. And I love to be in real life events. I've helped produce conventions. I've helped do satellite events. I've done some really cool, just like after parties. One event that I worked on was NFT LV Con. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. We did it in Vegas. Ended up being one of the most impactful events that I've been to. I think there was, maybe 1,000 of us there. I'm not like 100% sure, but out of all of the people that were there, we still have like 5 group chats going that have, 60, 70 people in it, and the entire ecosystem, we're all still just like doing things together.
That's awesome.
met Pigeons of New York. Pigeons of New York is absolutely dope. I'm about to go to their event in Atlanta, and I'm going to Undead Blocks, which is a play to earn game, which is super fan of Kyle and everything they're doing with Undead Blocks. They're crushing it. If you guys are gamers, like, get out there, check it out. Like, I love their mentality. These are all just people, like, they don't, in my ecosystem, you know, these people aren't paying me to grow with them. These are people that I spend time with in real life. And so I've taken myself and pushed myself to be at all of these events. Sonia and Orbis, they've sponsored me and supported me. And I worked with CryptoBots for a while, but now I finally have figured out like my own thing. So I am going to have like some sponsorships start to come on because I'm doing a full-on web series documentary, which I just started filming, working with Vision Protocol, and they just won the South by Southwest Film Festival, and they won an award over in London, and they just dropped their first fully funded movie that was fully funded on blockchain. They dropped it October 14th, and it hit 1,000 theaters and all of these things. So I called Shane, and I was like, Shane, what you doing? Like, are you busy? I know you just like dropped your project. He's like, yeah, I'm busy. I got 1,000 things going. I'm like, do you want to, you know, direct my web series? Do you want to like produce with me? And he's like, hell yeah, I'm honored. Like, let's go.
That's awesome.
Called my friend Cristiano, like, hey, Cristiano. And he's like, I'll see you in New Orleans. Let's do it. So we just shot a bunch of footage. Turned out really well. Got enough for a few episodes so far for the past few cities. And it's going to be a really interesting month or two coming up. So 2-3 months, while we film the rest of it. But
that's very exciting. So I have one question about like outreach for like sponsorships and stuff. How do you go about that?
What do you mean? How do you go about sponsorships?
Yeah, like, do they reach out to you or do you reach out to them?
So it just depends. So right now for me, I'm just going to the brands and the people that I'm already working with that I know and I love and saying like, hey, I'm already talking about you. I'm onboarding in real life. I'm teaching because I'm not going to just like sit with a microphone and a camera at these conferences and be like I'm a little bit of a DJ and I do the conferences and I do the like on stage and I do all of that. And then afterwards, I love to experience the actual culture of the city. I'd like to see how people react to crypto being there in their city. I like to see, it's almost like if you've been to a city 3 times, the first time you go, you're like, what do you think about Bitcoin? And they're like, second time you go, it's, what do you think about Bitcoin? Meh. And then the third time you go, what do you think about Bitcoin? Oh, I got like 7 NFTs and a MetaMask. You know what I mean? Like, that's the goal, right? So for me, like, that's kind of what I'm tracking. I like to really onboard, teach people. I like to meet street vendors that are artists and invite them to the event. I like to talk to all the Uber drivers, talk to all the people that come in and work these blockchain events and be like, next time you're here, have your MetaMask wallet so people can tip you, have this. And they'll be like, how do I set it up? I'm like, not on a bar napkin. Okay. Like, not on a bar napkin.
Don't write your seed phrase on the napkin.
Yeah. So,
I mean, it's safer than writing it in an iPhone.
No. A lot of people I like to, a lot of people don't have Twitter. They don't understand the power of like crypto Twitter. And so I help them like I always make sure they get it made right then before I leave their site. I don't care what you do with it afterwards, but like just make it right. Like if they're interested, you have to meet people where they're at. You can't shove it down their throat, you know, but.
That's what I was about to say. Like they're probably just not even consider it right after you leave. But at least you attempted to help them initially. Yeah.
But if you it's all about action out here. Yeah. Like people do videos and they're like, okay, this is like, I'm onboarding. Like, yeah, it's cool to onboard through content, but people have 2 feet. You know what I'm saying? And we need to touch grass and we need to be human still. So I want to see more people out there in the streets, like actually onboarding in real life. Like
it can be a hard process, though, really because
it's really not. It's super simple.
It's up to the person who's willing to actually accept your knowledge and is willing to actually sit down and create this MetaMask or actually create a crypto Twitter account it's really up to them. And a lot of people typically are difficult to change their perspective on things. And it's hard to inform some people sometimes. And this is just coming from personal experience with like friends and family and stuff.
Well, I think friends and family is completely different. So friends and family, they're biased against you, or even if they're for you, no matter what it is, they're biased. So most of our friends and family look at us like
it should be the other way around. Mm-hmm. They should support you more than be biased. But but it's super fun to ask your waitress if she takes Ethereum. And then when she tells you no, and you hand her your Coinbase card and you say, oh, you do now. And then they're like, wait, what? And then you show them your Pudgy Penguin that you made $14,000 off of last year. And then you say, like, this is rarely happens. I want you to know this has happened once in my 2 years of being in this space. It's not about getting rich quick, but the value is here. And it's just, you can't stop time and you can't stop tech. Yep. Like, you cannot stop these two things. So if nothing else, like, create a Twitter, make it your side Twitter, whatever, use as few letters as possible in case you get famous, so people will actually tag you, and get on and spend 5 minutes listening to a Twitter space. Spend 10 minutes on YouTube. Go to Investopedia. Spend 10 minutes a day on Investopedia. Yeah. And just think of it as up and coming tech and start figuring out. I never suggest people get into NFTs first. Never, ever, ever. No. Unless they're an artist or a designer. And then that's different because it's coming from the creator standpoint. Yeah. But I always let people know, start with your top 10 cryptos, understand what blockchain is. And you think 10's a good amount to start with? I was thinking more or less around like 3 to 5.
In terms of research.
Well, I always tell them to stay in the top 10 on CoinMarketCap in the beginning, just to like, because you get a pretty good storyline out of them. If you look at it more of like the evolution of different projects, there's enough meat on those bones to go back and see what's being developed. And it's credible, because you want to keep people where it's credible. And then once they understand blockchain, then you can say, now these are the top, you want to understand this first. And then you can tell them, like, I'm super fan of Hedera. Make sure that this is something that you look into like afterwards. But I try to foster these relationships and really be, especially with people that are new in the market, white glove with them. And I will take time. I will call them. I will text them. My DMs are open. And I really try to help them at least find a community that they can vibe with and start to learn and grow in. I don't like to just like set people off free running, but I'm getting a little busier, so I've got to figure out how to continue to be that way. You know, like
it really comes down to content, just soaking up as much information as possible, regardless of if it's factual or not factual. It's just different people's perspectives.
Yeah, and there's a ton of information out there about, you name it. I mean, the financial industry is gigantic. And that's not even including, like, you start going down rabbit holes with XRP that's like, is this real? Is this not real? What
are the numbers? The Matrix, or
does it matter? No, I'm just kidding. At this point, if you've been holding XRP since 2017, does any of it really matter? Like, you're in it. And you believe in it, and you know. And so, did you guys ever like call into the courtroom and like listen?
No, it was always full.
Like during the cases.
Yeah, it was always full. I was tempted to a couple times.
Be quicker. No, just kidding. So, I like to just hear the tones of their voices when you would call in. Like, I would love to hear Judge Torres and her just like, I'm fed up with the nonsense. Like, this is nonsense. Like, you could hear it in her voice. And to hear the way that things were evolving, and me trying to like transcribe the data, like type it out, like as I'm hearing it, and like push it out to people, like as it's going live, at the same time as like not knowing all of the legal jargon and like putting it over here and then trying to figure it out. And it was something like really fun that I used to enjoy doing. And then now it's more there's more people that are covering it in a way that
we all can't be Jeremy Hogan.
Yeah, we're fine now. Like, it's pretty easy to access, but there a while back, it was like you had to really dig to understand what was going on.
Yeah,
yeah, and that's true. Like, not even with just the lawsuit, but just these chains in general, and about the vast connections that a lot of them have, and the fact that people are going through all like hundreds, thousands of documents. Through like JP Morgan and Chase and like all of these giant companies to figure out connections, and are they making competitors? Are they partnering with a partner of a partner's partner with Ripple? And like, it's just this long.
Right now, I'm studying
a third world country partnering with Ripple to use their ODL systems and everything. You know, it's just like
I'm following the European banking system right now.
You just gotta dive into it.
You guys, that's a fun one. The European banking system, like. That's a fun
Digital
one.
Pound Foundation.
Yeah, I'm definitely following it right now. Yep. I'm trying to find Amazon, what they're doing. I'm not 100% convinced that they're going to use the token that they have. I think they're going to launch a new layer 1, but I'm not 100% convinced. And then Algorand. Oh my gosh, Algorand is fun right now. If in my head, the things that I know about Algorand, it kind of looks like Rain Man, where he's got that big giant wall, like all the things everywhere. That's what my map of Algorand looks like in my head right now, because it's so in depth and like intertwined. So it's a really fun one to spend time on the rabbit holes there. Hedera's a little cleaner. They're a little cleaner with what information they have that's like floating around. Whereas some of these other chains, like you can go in the basement and dust off the boxes of some of these websites and pop them open and find some random thing they forgot to black out, right? But Quincy will probably beat you to it. So, there's that.
That's incredible.
Sad but true.
So what do you guys have coming up this year?
So we actually soon, within about a little under 2 months now, we'll be dropping our very own NFT collection.
Really?
Yes. It is a pixelated crown, and it's going to be dropped on Hedera initially. And we do plan to be just like you and drop on multiple other blockchains. We just want to make sure this first drop goes well, and then we'll drop more collections down the road through other networks.
Yep.
Okay, I want a purple one.
We can make that happen.
I'm just like, just a heads up. I want a purple one. No, I'm just kidding. But
ways to get whitelist. There will be, so we are going to incentivize.
How are we going to do that?
How? Well, so you can buy merch. If you buy merch, that's just an instant whitelist. If you show proof of receipt, if you create clips of our podcast.
Smart.
Yes, if you create clips of the podcast and then obviously post them to any of your social medias and then obviously share that in our Discord, that is another incentive. Whoever creates clips of our podcast, and they're very well-developed clips, you're instantly getting whitelist regardless. But it has to be, you have to put time and effort. You can't just literally screen record one clip and not even do anything else to it and then think, oh, I'm going to get whitelist. But those are the two big incentives right now.
Tate. You might have to help people. There are some people
that's fine.
That
no. I mean, those are just two different ways. We're going to have other ways as well. Like if you're engaging into our Discord and showing that you're active and just supporting us as a brand and we notice it, that's a given. It's just about engagement at the end of the day. If you show that you're invested into a project and they can truly see it, you're destined to get benefits from that project, regardless of it being a whitelist or an NFT, just anything like that.
Like a perfect example of that.
I love that. Go ahead.
Sorry, but like a perfect example of that would be like River Trash. That's literally his name. I'm not trying to be mean to him, but he'll just
always in there.
Yeah, he's always in our Discord server. He's like, I really like this particular thing, and you guys could maybe adjust this a little bit, and really constructive, great criticism, and just really nice guy. Dude, heck yeah.
I love this. Well, it's such an innovative way too to be like, hey, let's get some of our marketing going, and let's get some of get other people to understand what we're building over here. And, you know, it's amazing for Hedera. It's amazing for XRP. It's amazing for all the topics that you cover. So it's a win-win-win for like everybody around. And then I know that I'm not as involved with the XRP NFT projects yet. Fun fact, a long time ago, you guys know Mega Man, right? Everybody knows Mega Man.
Yeah.
So this is like before XRP NFTs, right?
Okay.
He messages me and so I'm the worst about calling people in the middle of the night and being like, I know you've told me how to do this 7,000 times, but I cannot figure out this freaking toolkit. Like, I can't figure out, like, I'm having issues. Like, I can't do this. So Mega has been he was always great about like holding my hand and walking me through stuff just randomly. And he was like, hey, I'm going to send you something, but you have to promise on everything on your life that you will send it back to me. And he's like, I'm going to send this to you so that you can like put your wallet address on it. And then like, you have to send it back to me. And it was so he sent me an NFT, like there was no option for an image yet. It was one of the first NFTs like on
XLS
XRP.
14.
And
yeah.
Yeah.
XLS 14.
And he was
Sologenic?
No, this is before Sologenic.
I can't confirm or deny anything. This was like probably in February of this year, maybe.
That's early.
Yeah. And he was like, this is how we're going to prove that it's an NFT. And he's like, he like told me what to put in to try and fractionalize it to send it as a fraction. And I couldn't. And he was like, you just touched one of the first XRP NFTs. I was like, I know. And I remember I was in my bathroom. It was like the middle of the night. And I was like jumping up and down, like screaming. I was like, yeah, like we did it. Like, it's so dope. And then I sent it back and I was like sweating bullets. Like, oh my gosh, don't mess this up. But yeah, it was a really cool experience. And I was really excited, like being here in the beginning when these chains started to do NFTs. It was exciting because the communities were already fabulous. So love Mokai Donuts and Xpunk, obviously. But I just haven't really spent too much time over there on NFTs.
That's perfect. So. Well, I'll give you one project to check out if you have some time.
Give me some FOMO, Tate.
XRP Junkies.
Yeah. Yeah,
You've heard of them?
Oh, good.
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Who
good.
hasn't?
Yep, that's all I'm maxi into nowadays.
You're maxi.
Yep.
Tate maxi.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're top tier. They're like a blue chip on the XRPL. They drop their NFT collection in 3 days. They've been working on straight game development for the last year now. Two great guys behind the project and just a whole entire team that is just very well developed and skilled for the game.
By the time this video launches, they will have already launched or have already minted.
Yes.
More than likely.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay, so should we all just celebrate now? Woo! Congratulations. Let's go!
XRP Junkies have officially sold out. Hopefully.
Yeah, and by then we'll all be hanging out in Rusty's bar.
Yeah.
I love it. This is the kind of thing that gets me excited, is just the love and passion that everybody has for the different chains, for the different NFT projects. Like, the people that are here that are not going anywhere, and that we're here to stay.
I'll be here till I'm 100.
I created it's not really creating, I guess, but me and my friend Doug Hype and Carrie and True Nick and a few of us, we have this brand. It's called The Ballers. And it is essentially, we picked some traits from the Lazy Ape Yacht Club. And it's like the fur coats and the star glasses, platinum and gold jackets. And people are able to go and pick those up off OpenSea. And then they get to be like, we have like these chats, we have Twitter spaces and things. And it's really just like, it's more of just like token gating or access to a community of builders. Like we don't make anything off of, we're not part of the project. It was just a way to kind of take all of this bandwidth, take all these people that we're meeting, all of these collections, all the builders, all the heads, and put everybody together. And so I think like we have a good 150 people. And out of those 150, like unique, like holders, easy, that have decided to come. There's other ones that have the traits, but these are the ones that have decided to like kind of join us and come in on this. And we're all just helping each other build, helping each other grow, helping each other find problems within their projects, solving marketing dilemmas, solving team issues, solving Discord, like Twitter, like just really like becoming this family of a bunch of creators out here. And there are some people that are collectors, but I would say 80% of the people that are in these groups with us are literally the heads of projects. And our groups, they're not like all day long, just like nonstop. It's like, let me pop in and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Like, this is what I need. Like, anybody working on this. And it's such a cool thing to branch out here in the ecosystem and build out bandwidth and be able to just grow together, man. I love it. I love seeing you guys grow. Man, like a year
Corbin,
from now.
you know what that reminds me of?
What?
That reminds me of the golden banana coin.
What?
True. Okay, so in Hengry's project, the whitelist token is called a golden banana coin. It is literally a 3D modeled golden coin of like with like a boon head and like a banana on it and stuff. It's really, really detailed. It has like scratches on it and stuff. Dude, it's
very exclusive too.
Yeah, and it's token gated.
I'm trying to picture if that was in my wallet.
You might have one, honestly. But yeah, so essentially he's token gated a specific channel on his Discord server. So that way, like anybody that's got some hot alpha will like share it to the people that only have a golden banana coin. That's like its utility, even though it's just a whitelist token. It's really, really cool.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, it's very exclusive, and there's a lot of just like Hedera creators, and then the people who actually have money to invest in the Hedera ecosystem obviously buy it just because of all the quality information they provide in the group chat.
Because they want to be in there.
Discord server.
Yeah, dope. I'm a huge fan of Metavision, like massive fan of Metavision.
Yes.
You know, long time, like very early there. Man, my heart's so big right there. But that community is very, very similar. It's like if you want to be in an OG community where you've got all the OGs, it sounds like you either need a golden banana or a floppy or both, right? Or both.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No, Metavision's a hoot. Like I've like every time I interact with them, like no idea what to expect. Literally, like all typical like conversational conventions, boom, out the window. You might get like you might get like a wall of all caps text, or you might just get like some short little thing. And I'm like, this is.
Or you might get 700 people coming at you with dancing gifts.
Yes, also that. Yes.
Dance party. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I want to get Metavision on soon just to talk to them, but they're so alias. It's like you'll never know exactly.
They're so anonymous.
Who you'll be talking to.
Did you see when I was in Vegas that me, KB King, Sarah, Dylan, Maui, shoot, who else was there? There was one more person there. Oh my gosh, they're going to be so mad that I forgot. Anyway, got a bunch of Metavision stickers from my friend Maul. Literally had them made in like 72 hours. Like was so lucky. Took these stickers and we have pictures with like everybody. I take them now, like whenever I travel, and I'll like put one on the plane and like take a picture of it on the plane. So I'm stacking up all of these pictures. Metavision, if you're watching, just know something's coming. Something's coming. But yeah, so I take those stickers with me everywhere because it's just a big part of, it's just, that is a model of what community should be like and what a builder, how a builder should treat their community for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's awesome. I love their strategy. Sorry. I was just about to say, I love their strategy that they have for everything, which is wing it. That's the whole strategy.
More or
We're
less,
just
yeah.
winging it. And then it's awesome because like they'll, put out a little seed of an idea and people will be like, oh, this would be cool if you did this. And then you could do this with it. And it's just like people are just bouncing like back and forth with each other. It's so cool.
Well, it's so community driven.
Yeah.
That people just want to play with it. They just want to go. They're just excited. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like they're excited. So yeah, definitely a super fan there. Can't wait for whatever's coming next. Definitely going to be reaching out actually this week to talk about some things. There's always something brewing, in 17 different.
Care to share a little alpha? A little pinch of alpha?
Who, me? Alpha? Well, I'm trying to think.
Well, while you think about that, I just thought of an
give me a
amazing
second
idea
to think about it,
as
because I'm
a
like,
whitelist
NDAs
incentive.
are really like. Good.
So what I plan on doing is I have this sticker that has a barcode on it, and it provides a Linktree link to all of the Alt Kings, just website, YouTube, Twitter, all of that. I'm going to probably drop it on to our website, therefore people can buy it, and it's only going to cost roughly maybe like $4 or $5. And if they can just show them basically just placing it somewhere wherever they live and sending a photo of the location they placed it at, I'll grant them whitelist.
Do you know that I'm the worst? I like to put them on state signs.
Yeah.
Terrible person. I'm going to get in trouble here. Like if you go to the Kentucky border, like there's definitely Metavision. Like I probably have 10 stickers on the board, and only one at a time. I'm not like a super vandal. I'm not a super vandalist. Like one at a time. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, change the topic.
Yeah, but I thought that'd be a cool idea because it incentivizes people to use use that sticker and place it around their cities that they live in. It's nothing really hard. You just got to buy a sticker.
It's a great idea. And you also have to get the NFC chips sewn into your merch. So if that's something you're interested in, my friend AI Scholar does Merchify, super white glove service. I'll put you in contact with him. It's affordable, and he's like one-on-one, good person to work with. He does a lot of the merch for some of the bigger conferences, and I met him in Twitter Spaces, showed up I'd spent some time with him in Twitter Spaces, like quite a bit of time. And a few of the people that I knew him pretty well. And I showed up at Consensus and they double booked my room. And Consensus was like completely sold out. Like there was nothing. And the closest room was like 40 minutes away under like $500 or something crazy. So I'm like, what the hell am I going to do? So I'm sitting there, like the girl at the place, she's trying to figure it out. I jump in a Twitter space. Like, almost fails, jump in a Twitter space. Yo, who's at Consensus? And AI was like, yo, Altmom, what's going on? Are you okay? I'm here. We're all here. Like a bunch of us from Cardano. We're down and they were just like 2 blocks away from me. And so he rolled up and ended up picking me up. And now we're like almost like siblings. Like he's one of my best friends out here. He just an amazing human being, amazing freaking human being. And just knowing that this community that we're building out here, that we are so much like family. And when you get in real life, you instantly feel like you're at a family reunion. I'm very careful though, for the most part, that was a pretty outlandish thing. If you think about it in reality, but, for me, it seems like I'm closer to the people that I'm spending a lot of my time with. I work with you guys on a regular basis. We build trust. We build a lot of trust out here. And so a lot of my best friends, the closest people, are people that I've met at convention. And it's just you stand next to somebody and you realize we're changing the world together, and we have to do this. We have to be good people. We have to have good hearts, and we have to learn from each other, and we have to lead people to each other. I love to have people go check out Crypto Wendy's TA. Dude, she's doing amazing. She's doing so many amazing things. I love to talk about the other projects that are doing big things and lead people to them, because that's how we grow, right?
Yeah.
Very true.
Yes, indeed.
Very true.
Yeah. So what's your guys' plans for this weekend? Anything fun? Anything not crypto? Is anybody doing anything not crypto?
No.
Touching grass?
Actually, I might go ice skating with my girlfriend.
Touching grass? You have to touch grass.
Yeah.
You have to touch grass. I tend to do it at nighttime, outside under the moon.
Very true.
Yeah.
Well,
sounds like fun.
Alt Mom, it's really been a pleasure hosting you on our podcast today.
Yeah.
You're a pure joy, as always. I always love talking to you.
Yes.
Your energy is fantastic. It's great.
It was cool that we finally got to jump on here and do it. I know we've been like going back and forth. We've had lots of conversations and always have a good time. I remember literally answering the phone one time in Vegas or something. You called me with some alpha. I dragged my friends into this seedy alley so that we could hear you. And then we ended up, oh man, it was, I think I might have put you on video.
You did.
It was pretty seedy. And one of my friends, we ended up taking pictures of him, like, because everybody thought he was missing and they thought he was dead.
Didn't
and then
you get
some
yelled
girl
at by
like came and
somebody,
yelled at us and made us get out of the alley and said it was her home. It was really, thanks for the alpha, by the way. Hope you won the car or whatever was going on at the time.
No, unfortunately I did not. No.
Yeah. No, I always love the calls with you guys. You're amazing humans. Are you guys going to be at Bitcoin Miami, or are you or not Bitcoin Miami, but at Art Basel or Bit Basel, DecentralCon, Web3 Summit, any of them?
Not yet.
I need to see when the dates are, but we'll
okay.
Look, we don't revolve around conventions.
Okay. Well, I tell you what.
It's unfortunate that I moved from Orlando to St. Louis because there's not as many cryptocurrency like events in my area currently. There was a lot more down in Orlando. But I'll be around.
I'm speaking at the Web3 Summit, the Lake Women's Web3 Summit, and there's a lot of really great people there. So if there is any way that you guys can get down, I would highly suggest. That's right before Art Basel and Bit Basel. It's like 2 days. It's the 30th and 31st. If you guys are able to come down just for, a quick 2-day getaway, I'll introduce you to as many people as I can, and would love to give you guys hugs in real life again. Tate, I haven't seen you in, I don't know, it's been forever, I guess.
Yeah.
Was that the place that we were all sitting around on the grass and there was a full moon? And everybody was kumbaya. It was very loving and very
It was underneath like a tiki little tent thing in the Bitcoin mansion. But there was just I remember we were right next to just the little bar, and I was with two of my friends, and then you just came out of nowhere after I saw Mason. But yeah.
No, those were good times. Those were definitely good times. Yeah. Still love traveling. It's super fun. I'm not going to stop. So it was good to see you guys though today, and we'll do this again.
Well,
yeah,
for sure.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Alt Kings podcast, and we will see you next episode. Peace.
Peace.